and not want to even talk about porn.
Everyone that I know pretty much watches it.
Porn really does influence a lot of the things that we do.
We never talked about porn, we never talked about pleasure. I didn't watch much porn, so I didn't know a lot of stuff.
We had never talked about pornography and how it affected us.
Porn has also opened up conversation.
Porn sex is not real sex.
I don't think guys normally talk about porn with their partners.
There's a lot that goes into porn that I didn't know about.
The society has to change for pornography to change.
In our sexual education classrooms, the time in your educational career that's supposed to be devoted to teaching you about sex, they don't.
It has to be acknowledged that porn is playing a part in education and it can't be hidden away.
I think people are afraid to talk about it because they're afraid that that's going to make the kids look it up. But I feel like they probably will on their own anyways, so it's important that they tell them first.
I think the problem really lies in not having an open dialogue about it. So if somebody watches it not knowing what it is, especially I guess at a young age, I think that could be pretty harmful.
You can watch it anywhere, phone, tablet, anything, TV. It's just wild in that sense that it's so accessible.
In my mind, what's to stop like a kid who is curious and has their own device? And I think that's something to acknowledge.
Yes, we're talking about porn, but porn has become a sexual educator. It does teach you something about pleasure. If you're watching it and can pleasure yourself, it teaches you what you like.
You can watch it with a partner. I can spice up your sex life.
People watch porn as a way out. It's a release.
Sexuality versus pornography are two very different things.
I just know from my own experiences that I honestly idolized the sex I was seeing in porn.
I guess the bad things in porn would be when people are being taken advantage of, when there isn't consent.
It's unfortunate that there's a lot of content out there that's harmful against women.
Consent is never mentioned in those videos. You're just supposed to be the silent giver of yourself. Did she say no? No. Did she say yes? No.
As a young woman, the porn I would watch, it just made me feel a lot of things I would see were things that were expected.
I went to school in Ontario, which has sexual health education, and I still didn't know a whole lot of things when I started having sex.
Teaching porn ethics in schools, that's so important because it's being used, so we may as well accept it and then teach it and educate in a way that it can move forward in a healthy way that then translates into our sexual lives.
The Me Too movement is fighting. Women, men alike are fighting to change our society. And so we need to talk more about what healthy, consensual sex looks like, and that it can be playful and fun and still have BDSM and bondage and some of the other darker sides of pornography, but it can be consensual and it can be sexual expression. I wish that we would talk about that in school.
There is tons of porn that is violent towards women, towards men as well. So it is an educator for the good and for the bad.
I'm sure maybe it would make some people act on it, but for most people, I hope that they're smart enough to realize that's not okay without consent.
If someone watches pornography that doesn't depict consent or depicts questionable content, then maybe there's some kind of subconscious encouragement.
Women in pornography are more likely to be assaulted, and I feel like that's a connection in pornography and in the real world.
If you can't separate porn and sexual violence, and you can't separate having a good sexual experience with someone and not being afraid that on some level there is going to be some sort of violence because that's all you see on the screen. For me, the part where it gets confusing is it's like, do I actually like this, or have I been conditioned to think I like this because this is all I see? But I feel like if I talked about porn with my family, they wouldn't want to listen.
Things that we're seeing in porn is not real, and that's not to be something to try to act out.
But then you watch any of the porn documentaries or you see any of the behind the scenes videos and it's very much like a film set.